Write down all of the verbs you can think of that mean to wear. Give yourself like 30 seconds. We're going to be covering all of the most common ways that you can say to wear, not every single one of them in existence, but definitely the most important verbs that you should know. This question was also asked by a channel member. I apologize, I can't remember who it was, but thank you to my channel members for supporting me, as well as my Patreon supporters. It's thanks to you that I can keep making videos on this channel. And if you would like to become a supporter, you can join me on Patreon, which I have a link to below, or you can click the join button on my channel to support me here on YouTube. Okay, the first one is going to be 입다, which is the most common one that everyone knows, and this means just to wear something over your whole body. I should note that it's pronounced as 입다 due to sound change rules, and I'll give you the different sound changes for each of the verbs we're going to do today. So, examples of things that you could wear using 입다. Well, you could wear a shirt, 셔츠. You can also wear pants, 바지. Again, wearing something in general, wearing something over your whole body, use 입다. 쓰다 is used for wearing something specifically on your head. So don't say you wore your 바지, your pants, with 쓰다. That would be like, I mean, I guess a kid might do that. This would be for something like glasses, maybe a mask, or a hat. Note that for mask, you can also use the verb 하다, to do, for wearing a mask. This way is a little bit more casual, but it's okay. Next we have Shinta. This one is pronounced as Shinta. This one is for wearing something on your feet. So you're going to be wearing things like 신발, your shoes, or other types of shoes, as well as your socks, 양말. So both of these would be examples of things that you wear with Shinta. Okay, those three were the most basic, the most common ones that you'll learn from any lesson. But now let's go on to the ones that are still used commonly, but are less common ones. The next one is 착용하다. 착용하다 is to wear anything in general, but it's most often used for wearing something traditional. And using this verb sounds quite formal. So you're not going to want to say that you put on your shoes or your hat with 착용하다, although it would make sense. So a really common thing that you might hear this verb used with would be wearing 한복. Now you could just 입다, 한복, but it sounds more fancy or more formal to use 착용을 하다 when you put it on. Next we have 두르다. 두르다 is to wear something by wrapping it around yourself. And this would typically be around your neck. So this would be for wearing something like a scarf. 목도리를 두르다 would be like to wear a scarf. Now, you actually don't have to use this verb. You can also simply use the verb 하다 when you're wearing a scarf, just like you could with mask. So 목도리 하다 also means to wear a scarf. Using 하다 instead sounds a little bit more casual, but it's also okay. Next we have 차다, which is used for wearing something that you hang or attach to your body. So this would typically be for things that you put around your wrists. For example, you could use this for wearing a wristwatch. Literally, in Korean, they say 손목시계, so wrist clock. You can also use it for wearing something like a bracelet, 팔찌. Or, since I said it's not just for attaching things to your body, but also hanging things from your body, other things that you might hang would be earrings. So you could wear 귀걸이 or 귀걸이. It's the same thing, they both mean earrings. You can use both of these with 차다 for wearing them. Next, we have the verb 끼다. 끼다 would be anything that you're wearing on your hands. So this would include not just gloves, not just things that you're wearing over your entire hands, but also things you could wear on your hands, for example, like a ring, 반지. So you can do 장갑을 끼다 or 반지를 끼다. Next, I'm going to give you two because these are pronounced the same way, but the spelling's a little different, and I've gotten these mixed up in the past before as well. That is 매다 and 매다. This one here, 매다, is used for something that you're wearing on your shoulders. So this would be like a bag or backpack. 매다, however, also means to wear, but this would be things that you wear by tying. So what things would you commonly wear by tying? Well, that would be like a belt, 허리띠. Or if you have like a leather belt, another word for that would be like 혁대. Or another kind of belt that you should also be wearing is a 안전벨트, so a safety belt, so your seat belt. So again, wearing over your shoulders or wearing by tying. So those are all of the most common ways that you can say to wear something, at least all of the ones that I can think of. There is another thing though we should talk about, and that is how to remove those clothing items after you put them on. The one you should know for that is 벗다. Now this is pronounced as 벗다 due to sound change rules, and this one can be used for almost everything. Now, there's a few things that you would use different verbs, but here are the most common exceptions where you wouldn't use 벗다 to mean to take off. For any sort of accessory, things you're taking off that are accessories like gloves or taking off your rings or your earrings or taking off your watch, instead of using 벗다, although it would make sense, it would sound awkward, instead of this, you would want to use a different verb, 빼다. 빼다 would be to take off any sort of accessory. Now, anything that you put on by tying, you're not going to 벗다 to take that off. So that would include your belt. Instead of saying 벨트 벗다, you would want to use 풀다. 풀다 means to untie. And there are a few other verbs you might want to use for specifically taking things off, but this is going to cover the majority of those. So did I miss any verbs for how to put things on, how to say to wear? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in another video. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.